I want to talk about what people miss when they say, not all men. Because technically, you're right. A small minority of men commit the vast majority of the extreme violence against women. But that's not the argument women are making. You're imagining a straight line between the bad men on one end and the good guys on the other. But it's not a straight line. It's a bell curve. At the very top of the continuum, these are the serial offenders. These are the obvious predators. And at the bottom end, these are the men who actively challenge other men, confront behavior publicly, and are willing to lose status to protect women. But the bottom end, it's a small group. And the top end, also a really small group. The majority of men live in that huge middle of the continuum, or the big belly of the bell. It's basic statistics. The middle is where men don't commit violence, but they also don't disrupt it. The middle is where men hear a story that sounds wrong and choose their own comfort over confrontation. The middle is where men distance themselves privately but never call out anything publicly. The middle is where men say they're the good guys, but they aren't willing to participate in meaningful cultural change. The middle is wide. The middle is the engine. The middle is the real problem. Because systems don't need everyone to be extreme. They just need enough people to stay comfortable and to be quiet. Now let's talk about conditioning. Every boy is raised inside a structure that centers him. That's how patriarchy works. The system tells him his perspective is neutral. His anger is understandable. His discomfort is urgent. His access is normal. And his needs, they're more important than everyone else's. A few men interrogate that message. A few actively refuse to partake in it. But the vast majority of men do nothing. These men are either willingly ignorant of the problem, unwilling to get involved, or they simply don't care about anything but themselves. Not because they're monsters, but because it benefits them. And here's where it matters. When someone responds to women naming harm with, not all men, what they're actually doing is protecting the identity of men instead of examining the system. That reflex, that's defensiveness. And defensiveness is not neutral. It's alignment with a problematic middle, because if your first instinct is to clarify that you are not the worst man, then you are still measuring yourself against the extremes instead of asking where you sit in the vast middle that maintains the problem. And yes, women are conditioned too. Women internalize patriarchy. Sometimes women enforce it on other women, but women are not the ones statistically committing the vast majority of violence against other women. The harm is not symmetrical. So when women say all men, they are not literally accusing every single man of being a predator. They are naming a shared operating system, a unit. And until more than a few men are willing to step outside of that problem area, publicly, visibly, not all men will continue to sound like deflection, because that bell curve doesn't lie. The problem isn't just the violent men at the top. It's the vast middle. And these men are part of the problem.